So a nice way to make a guitar solo a bit more interesting, especially when you're playing over a major progression, is to alternate your scale between the major and the minor. Angus Young, Elliot Easton, I mean, a lot of guys make really great solos doing this. And most advanced beginning and intermediate guitar players who are working on improvisation, kind of know this. It's cool to do that. What I'm going to talk briefly about is how to make it sound smooth. Simply jumping from one scale to the other will work, but there are ways to make it sound better. So if you're playing an A major, and you're playing your A major pentatonic, or your A major scale, and the backing track's going and it's staying in A, and if you jump up and playing the A minor pentatonic, it sounds fine. You can jump back and forth and it sounds good. I'm gonna see if I can make this happen. So I'm just gonna do that. And that adds some interest right away. But it clearly sounds like, you're just jumping from one scale back and forth to the other. And it could be better. So a couple of ways to do that. The easiest way to do that is incorporating the root notes. So A major pentatonic has these A's as root notes. A minor pentatonic has these two A's as root notes. So a nice thing to do is when you're approaching the root note, switch the scale as you get to the root note. So if you're coming up your pentatonic, switch at that A. And if you want to change the shape, just move your shape up, it's fine. So, and that's gonna sound like you meant it, man. That's gonna sound pretty cool when you do it that way. Also, there's a nice, in all of these, there's a nice double stop at this location. And the A major, it's an A and an E note. Those are also in the A minor. So doing that double stop is pretty cool. And also, if you bend to a root note, it'll sound pretty nice it's a nice way to transition. So if you bend to this A, so right now I'm playing an A minor, but if I bend to that A, you can incorporate that really nicely if going from major to minor. So. And that just makes it sound a little bit more intentional when you do that. So when you're incorporating that, you'll just be. Which sounds a little smoother. The bend is nice. And that's a nice way to do it. Another thing to do is to take advantage of what's happening in the backing track if you really know the chords that are going on. So this backing track is an A major, and then it goes to a G. So when you're playing your G, the G and the D on the two high strings are featured very prominently in that backing track, but those notes are not in A major. The D is in the full A major, but it's not an A major pentatonic, so that's there, but the certainly the G isn't. So a nice thing to do is when that G is coming, use that double stop or that G, and that's here and that's in the minor. The D and the G are right here in the minor pentatonic. So when the backing track goes, if you're just hanging around an A major and that G hits, that's a nice place to switch to the minor pentatonic. Either you can go or wherever you want to do it. But that's a nice transition. That will, if you do that, that will sound like you knew it was coming and you meant to do that. So that can be fun. So